Hi, and if you're watching this video, congratulations, you're officially in escrow. So I just wanted to just kind of briefly go over what to expect next. So there's two types of paperwork that we need to discuss. The first type of paperwork, David from our team is going to reach out to you and give it to you. These are the disclosures and the reports, okay? So what are disclosures? Well, disclosures is when the seller tells the buyer exactly what's wrong with the property or anything that they know of in regarding to the property. And at the same time, the buyer is going to receive some generic paperwork that's required by the state of California to where it advises the buyer of all the different types of inspections that they could do if they wish to do it. And the second type of paperwork and documents are escrow paperwork and escrow documents. So escrow, the escrow company is going to reach out to both the buyer and the seller and ask for a different set of documents to be filled out. This has to do with the taxes for the state of California, the US government, the entire transfer of title, and the dealing with the funds and the loan and things of that nature. Any tax liens are going to be paid off, any types of liens at all. And escrow handles all of that. So you're going to hear from escrow, or you should reach out to escrow. Now, going over the process, now that you're in escrow, we already talked about the paperwork. Now we're going to talk about the inspections. So at this point, the buyer typically does their home inspections. They hire a home inspector that usually charges, depending on the size of the home, anywhere between $400 to $500. And it's pretty simple. The buyer just contacts the home inspector or gets CC'd in an email by someone from our team in regards to setting up the inspection. The inspection typically lasts an hour to 2 hours, and the buyer and the buyer's agent usually show up towards the end of that inspection, where the home inspector kind of goes over exactly what the findings are. From there, typically the buyer issues the seller a request for repairs, trying to negotiate some type of repairs or some credits associated with the findings. From there, the home inspector generally recommends other inspectors to go out to the property, whether it's a roofer or a plumber or an electrician, whatever was found out on that date. The home inspector typically recommends someone else to go out there. At the same time, another type of inspection is appraisal. The appraisal, the buyer pays for, just like the buyer pays for the home inspection. And with the appraisal, the buyer's bank makes it a requirement that this gets done. That way it assures the bank that the property is worth what they're paying for. And another inspection that you do right up front is check the insurability of the property. So right when we go into escrow, usually the buyer contacts their insurance company and finds out if the property is insurable, to find out if there's any claims in the past or anything like that. And then lastly, the contingency period in this escrow stage. So the contingency period is the days that were agreed to in writing, where the buyer has to do all their inspections, their appraisals, all their due diligence on the property, go down to the city, figure out what can be built or what's the zoning there on the property. This is basically where the buyer determines 100% that they're okay with the property's condition and they're okay with the loan that they're going to receive. Typically, this contingency period, this inspection contingency period or loan contingency period is negotiated at the beginning. So if you want to check your emails, and you could find out what that contingency period is exactly. But on this date, at the end of this date, you have to decide, the buyer decides whether they want to move forward with the property or not. And once they remove contingencies, then at that point, their deposit is pretty much in the seller's, not possession, but they have the right to it. So anyhow, this is what to expect during the escrow process. Congratulations again on opening escrow.